Hi everyone, welcome to the second segment of how to groom your doodle at home during isolation. So we got Mr. Charles here. Hi baby. Yes, you're a good boy. He's all blow dried. As you can see, he's pretty fluffy still. So this is what the quarter cut will give you. You still got like plush, fluffy fur. His face is really fluffy, as you can see, and so are his legs. So we're gonna tidy him up and make him a little bit shorter. Excuse my scratching post. So we'll just talk about drying for a second. You can use your own hair dryer. I ordered something like this off of Amazon. It's supposed to be for dogs. It's meant to be, it's a grooming blow dryer for dogs, and man is it ever powerful. I find the more power, the better, because you get this plush, fluffy look, and it cuts your drying time in half. So I was usually spending what felt like eternity on blow drying Charlie, but this makes it go a lot faster. I'm talking like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know, I haven't timed it, but they don't like their face being blow dried, so you kind of have to be respectful for that and make sure you put it on the low setting and then not high heat, because you want to make it a pleasant experience for them, so they let you do it. Right, Charles? High five? High five? No, see, he's mad. He didn't want a bath anyways. But that's okay. You're still special. So, I'm just going to re-groom him. Just go over what we did in the previous video to make it a little bit shorter and a little bit neater. And then I'll show you how to do the legs and the face, and you guys that's it. That's all there is to it, really. So I'm gonna start here. And again, you go down, in the back. Down the legs. And again, you just want to follow the hair. Where does it go? Straight lines. Or even lines, at least. Right, Charles? What do you think about that? He's a good boy. Your dog might bite you on this part, so you just kind of want to tell him, just doing your legs, I know it feels weird. How you cut is totally up to your preference. I go around in a circle, sometimes I do side to side, front to back. Again, it's all up to you.
Good boy. Yes, good boy.
As you can see, I'm going down this way, because this is just the direction that the hair is going. Now you want to be very careful around this area because they do mat as well. So again, just check and make sure that there's no mats there, and if there is, then just cut them with the scissors. You want to be very careful when you're cutting your dog with scissors. You want to know where the skin line is, and safety first always, and the comfort of your dog. Always be very wary of where you're cutting, what you're snipping, all the time, and you won't have a problem. Okay, so for the bum, I always like to do a sanitary trim where you trim it very short. I don't recommend using the buzzers because, as a lot of you know, they can get burned, razor burn from it. So I don't like to use the razor on my dog unless I absolutely necessarily have to do so. So this is where your straight scissors will come in handy. And you just lift the tail and snip as close as you can. And under, see Charlie mats under his tail too. It's pretty bad. Riley does not, but under the tail. So you can snip as high up as you want. And then there you go. Clean as a whistle. Right? So a lot of people have different ideas as to what they want their dog to look like. This is the greatest thing about doing your dog at home because you get to choose how they look and how short you go and what their tail looks like, what you're gonna do with their ears. I prefer to keep Charlie's tail pretty short. I mean, this is long, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a trim. And you just basically want to make it so even and that you feel, you know, it looks acceptable. Okay, and that's the body. So now I'm gonna move on to the legs. And I hope you guys can see this okay. I do apologize if you cannot. I like to tidy up the hair in between because then they just stomp all over it, and then the next thing you know, you've got hair that you're snipping that's not even attached to their body anymore. So it just makes cleanup easier. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This isn't like show quality. Nobody's going to a show, so be gentle with me and yourself, everybody. Because if this is your first time, one time, it happens. Like one time I cut Charlie's hair so bad that he looked like he had mange, and he had to wear a t-shirt for like 2 weeks. So always go longer and then keep going shorter as you go, because then less chance of them having to wear a t-shirt. Poor Charles. That was years and years ago though. Like we're talking like 8 years ago. So now I'm just gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna work on his feet. So feet is the most daunting task of this whole process. Isn't it, baby? Yes, it is. You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. You are. You gotta give them lots of attention because they feel like a superstar, the less problems you'll have. That's what I learned. And they really don't like getting their paws done. So take your scissors and you're gonna wanna go up the leg and up the other side, and then you do around the paws. Ooh, I got your fur all over me. And also, you want to make sure your dog is completely dry before starting to do your cut. I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but again, I am like not a pro at this at all. You want to make sure your dog is completely dry because that makes cutting much easier, and it's easier on your blade. If you want your blades to last longer, you do want to cut clean hair and oil and whatever else it was I was trying to say. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind. It's Friday. Okay, so let's do it. So I'm going to snip. And again, you always want to be wary of where the skin is. And I like to follow the line all the way up until the shoulder. So you just get really clean, neat lines. And especially during this time of year, I do like to go shorter on the legs because it is such a mucky, yucky season. But that's my preference. So you can just alternate between your curved scissors and your straight scissors. Whatever you find is going to work best for you. See the shape, this is all about shape. As you can see, I'm getting away from my camera here. So you're going to do around the paws. And then I'll just switch the scissors around. Always safety first, right? Know where the skin is. Never run with scissors. Good boy, Charles. Always tell your dog what a superstar they are. You're the best boy in the world, aren't you, Charles? Good job, Charles! And then you do the other one. So. Good job, buddy. The feet are always the most daunting task. Yes, they are, Bubba. Woo! Look at that. 2 paws down. Hmm? You could always go over it again at the end with the clippers to even it out. It's just depending on how picky you are. Good boy. And it's totally normal for your dog to fight you on this. Charles and I had many conversations about how this needs to be done. And he'd be like, no. And then he'd have feet that weren't even at all. He'd have one tiny paw and one big paw. And it's just like, oh my God. See, I need to like go over this over here. Always be careful with the pads of the feet. I've always used the blade on his feet, but I wait for it to completely cool down before doing it. See, now his leg is really long. Look at that. Excuse me. Can you not move, please? Thank you. Sometimes you have to remind them that you're busy doing something and they're not just up there for fun. Charles? Charles? Excuse me. Woo. sometimes you could just leave their paw on the ground and just trim it. That's the joyous thing about these round scissors, is that they'll just shape anything you need. You always just want to look out for any dew claws or those pad things. Safety first, always. How you doing up there, buddy? He doesn't care. I always like to trim the winky hair just because it's more sanitary, but always be careful. Know where that winky is at all times. Unless you have a lady dog, then you don't really have to worry that much, but still, watch the lady bits. Now, what to do if you get stuck on a mat? You never want to pull your dog's skin because that hurts. Now, as you can see, Charles has a little bit of a situation here. You want to be gentle when removing it. Always unclip the clip and then see how you can finagle in the most comfortable way. So there's a little teeny tiny little mat that we missed. But that's because it was near his winky. Now for those of you who are really new, honestly, just do the bare minimum because eventually you'll be able to get to a groomer. But we want the dogs to be comfortable when the weather changes, and it is changing. And we also want them to look good. So now we're gonna move on to the head, my favorite part. So as you can see, this beautiful disaster here. He's quite fluffy. Aren't you, buddy? Yeah, that's okay. You're standing very close to the end of the table, so please move back. Sometimes you just gotta tell them, back up. So, what we are going to do is you're gonna give it another brush. And you want the hair to be in its place. Okay. You're gonna take your curved scissors, and I always like to start over the eyebrows. Now, I had to touch up Charlie's face because it grows a lot faster than the rest of his body. I don't know if you guys have that, find that too, but I'm constantly cutting like eyebrow hair every 2 weeks. It just grows like a weed. So depending on what kind of shape you want, you can shave the head right down. I like to leave a little fluff because I think it's so cute. Yes, I do. You're so handsome. And I like to keep the snout a little bit longer, but I like a round face. So this is where your round scissors come in handy. So I'm going to start with the eyebrows. And again, be very careful. You're snipping in between the eyes. And there you go. There. And then you just use your scissors to round it out. Now you can take your clippers and you can cut in here to make this a little bit thinner. Again, I'm gonna use my 1/4 cut. Sometimes I use 1/8, but today I'm just gonna stick with the 1/4. And you're gonna wanna go down from the top of the eyebrow, down, 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 down. And that's all I'm doing for Charles because I wanna keep that rounded look. And you can just take your scissors and follow the beard line, wash the ears. Okay, careful. Now, when you do the ears, you have to be very careful and know where the skin is because we don't want any accidents, right? So, again, curved scissors or straight scissors, it's up to you. I like them to be a specific shape. So what I do is I put my fingers over their ear and then I drag it down and I find where the base well, where the base of the ear is, or the end of the ear, if you will. So, and then I put my fingers there, so I know where and how much I can cut off. Woo! So Charlie's ear is here. Then I turn my scissors and I do the other side. And be careful not to snip yourself either. Safety first. Always safety first. And it may not look the best, it may not look the neatest, but again, we are not professional groomers, so I wouldn't expect it to. But we can sure as heck try. Ears can be tricky and they take practice, but once you get there. And then you can just take your clippers and just groom it so it looks nice and neat. Charlie, you have like a mullet. You just kind of compare. Look at this. He's got like, he's got a little Jerry curl. And there we have it, folks. How to groom your doodle at home. What do you think? Be gentle with me. Yeah, do you like it? I think you like it. Hey, Charboo. Anyways, thank you very much for watching my video if you watched this whole thing. I know it's a very long video, but I hope it helped you and I hope it gives you confidence to do your own dog if you really need to. So, thank you very much. Stay safe, stay inside, and stay healthy. And we wish you all the best. And I think someone wants to say hi. Thanks for watching. High five, Taboo.